What's up, guys, and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be criticizing or reacting to bad reviews of Ant-Man from 2015. This is not the new Ant-Man, so if you're looking for that, I'm going to try to put it in the title so it doesn't seem like clickbait, but let's get into this. By the sweet hammer of Thor, Marvel Comics has really run out of ideas this time. Your review sounds like someone who ran out of ideas by using the sweet hammer of Thor. Also, Ant-Man has been around since 1962, so this is not really a new idea for Marvel. The same tepid time worm routine with a few chocolate sprinkles of fun on top. Marvel has become its own antonym. So antonym meaning opposite, which means you don't think that a dude shrinking to the size of an ant is a Marvel. You think it's just like a regular routine normal thing. Got it. No other Marvel installment has felt as weighed down by its own obligations to the franchise. Are you referring to franchise as Marvel as a whole or to Ant-Man? Because Ant-Man's a very specific thing that they would have to tie in. Also, this is part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which means there's a certain things that it has to show to continue the story of the overall picture. Not 100% sure what you're complaining about here. Ants are pests, and that's just a weird place to start for a superhero, especially if he never strays too far from his origins. This is the first movie in the series. Like, you casually grow. If it would go super crazy, you would probably be the same type of person to complain that it went too far and didn't touch enough on the origins of the character. It's becoming more and more apparent that Marvel simply has no idea what they're doing with the blockbuster genre. Yes, Marvel has no idea. As a matter of fact, they're so clueless on how to create a blockbuster that 4 of the top 10 grossing films of all time are Marvel movies. Come on, man. Fails to have enough fun with its one unique element, the sense of scale. I tend to remember a lot of scenes with the sense of scale. Perhaps you got a different cut of the movie or something? I remember a lot of scenes. I don't know. We must have watched 2 different movies. Ant-Man symbolizes American accomplishment. It is about people transcending the physical limitations of the human body, and it is also a comedy variation on the political idea that the smallest person can change the... Is that a political idea? I don't... This review doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I guess the idea is there, like, but I didn't think it was a political idea. That's been a story for as long as the world has existed, like a small... But no. Ant-Man just isn't that great an idea, and the film exists only because the Marvel machine is working so remorselessly through its massive back catalog. How dare you, Marvel? How dare you not just sit on an idea and let it sit and collect dust and literally make no money at all? How dare you? A fairly straightforward, conventional superhero story where a mere mortal gathers the ability to be extraordinary and then becomes a hero. This is no way to sell me on a story about a guy who can make himself the size of an ant. So, I'm assuming you must hate comic book movies in general, because that's literally just about the story to every comic book basically ever written. Not all, but some, and a lot. Generally, it's kind of your... I mean, like, it's the origin of it, man. Like, you didn't know by the name Ant-Man going to the theater, if you've never read any of the comic books, that you would not be interested in this. Ant-Man will appeal mostly to ant people, translated children. Is that a bad thing, I guess? Factor in fans of Paul Rudd, that's me, and Marvel superheroes, and you could have a box office community picnic. I don't understand why it's a bad review. That seems like a positive thing. But even if you're saying it's a bad thing, that's literally how every movie on the planet works. Most people go to a movie because they're like, I really like that actor. A lot of times, yes, you'll have people say, I like the story, but they won't necessarily go. But like for me, for example, well, maybe like 10 years ago, not so much today, but if it was like, oh, here's a movie with Johnny Depp in it, I would go see it because I like Johnny Depp. That's literally how Hollywood works. That's how they figure out who they're going to pay and who not to pay. They bring in people because they think people want to see them. That's literally the movie industry. Why, oh why must these movies telling the story of the beginnings of a superhero do the same things over and over and over again? Because it's a freaking origin story. If they jumped right into it and you had no idea how it happened, you would be pissed that no one told you how it happened. Get over yourself. Ant-Man cares more about setting up the future than addressing the present, and for that, Paul Rudd's best effort as the wisecracking insect companion are overshadowed by what's to come. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this is the first Marvel movie that you've ever watched. So welcome to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Basically, a lot of these movies, and almost every movie, at some point is building towards the future of the Avengers movie that is out now. So yeah, if this is the first one that you came in on, it could be confusing, but that's literally basically every Marvel movie since Iron Man 1, so I don't know. Jokey rather than funny, and a bit forced when it's trying to be sincere. Ant-Man has plenty of enthusiasm, but not a lot of inspiration. Reed unable to conceive the film in such a way that it establishes its own niche in the big screen Marvel landscape. Yeah, it doesn't have its own niche, clearly. There's tons of superheroes that can shrink down to the size of an ant. Also, Marvel totally did not pick up at least 3 additional movies of that. Also, there's no rumor going around that Ant-Man is going to be the future leader of the Avengers and kind of the mainstay since Iron Man will be done. There's definitely nothing about that. Also, it's not the 15th highest grossing Marvel film of all time, including being over movies such as Iron Man 2, The Incredible Hulk, not the Eric Bana one, the Edward Norton one, and the first Avengers movie. So yeah, it's definitely not carved out its own niche at all. Not in the slightest. Alright guys, and that is it. I wanted to do this video because reading through movie reviews irritate me. We live in a day and age where everybody likes to complain about stuff, and I feel like a lot of times it's complaining just because you want to sound cool, and a lot of times when you complain it doesn't even make sense as to what you're complaining about. So that's why I wanted to do this. I picked Ant-Man because I really liked Ant-Man, but you know, I feel like I can enjoy something for the most part for what it's worth, and I feel like people think that that's stupid, but like, is the joke really on me when I at least get my money's worth out of something? So that's kind of my thing. Plus, I hate the idea. I hate the way that these movies are reviewed like they're reviewing some ancient literary masterpiece with the wording, and I just hate the way that movie reviews are. So I just wanted to do that. I'll probably do a film. Let me know down below what film you want to see me do next, because I will do more of these. But yeah, I thought that would be a good one to start with. Everybody's seen Marvel movies for the most part, so yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video.